Ladies and gentlemen, wealth is not something that happens to you. It's something you command. The difference between poverty and prosperity lies not in circumstance, not in birthright, but in the invisible powerhouse between your ears, your mind. Wealth begins not with a job, not with an opportunity, but with a single force that originates deep within a burning desire. This desire is not a passing thought or a fleeting wish. It is not the kind of idle wanting we feel when we daydream about what life could be like. No, this is something different. This desire is a white, hot obsession that lives in your bones, takes root in your imagination, and refuses to be ignored. It becomes the dominating force in your mind, the one idea you return to in the quiet moments, and the one image that keeps you awake at night. To train your mind to attract wealth, you must begin by deciding exactly what you want down to the last detail. You must be specific. How much money, by when, in what form, what will you give in return? Your mind must know what it's aiming for because vague desires produce vague results, but a definite desire creates magnetic energy. Once it is fixed in your mind with clarity and emotion, it begins to move you. It reshapes your decisions, fuels your habits, alters your relationships, and aligns your actions in the direction of your goal, often without you consciously realizing it. This kind of desire is not accidental. It must be chosen, fed, and protected. It is not a flickering candle, but a raging fire, and fire must be kept alive. You feed it with thought, repetition, and emotion. You think about your goal constantly, not out of anxiety, but out of passion. You fall in love with the image of your future. You nurture it until it grows so large in your mind that it crowds out fear, doubt, and distraction. And be warned, society will try to cool your fire. It will offer you reasonable expectations, practical advice, and safe paths. But wealth is never born in safety. It is born in the minds of those who dare to want something so fiercely that they become unshakable in the face of obstacles. If your desire is not strong enough to survive rejection, delay, and hardship, it is not strong enough to attract wealth. So begin here, find your desire, define it, obsess over it, make it more real in your mind than the current reality around you. Because once your desire becomes definite and all-consuming, the universe starts to reorganize itself to deliver the people, resources, and opportunities that match it. That is the first step. That is where all wealth begins, in the furnace of your own obsessive, definite desire. After desire has taken root, the next force that must be cultivated is faith, a deep, unwavering belief in the certainty of your success. Faith is not mere hope. It is not blind optimism. It is not simply wishing for things to work out. Faith is an inner knowing, a quiet, unshakable confidence that what you seek is already yours in the unseen realm and will soon materialize in the physical world. When a person possesses true faith, they no longer ask, "Will it happen?" They affirm, "It is happening." They do not look for evidence in their current conditions. They look within, and from that place of certainty, they act as if the outcome is guaranteed. This mental posture is not arrogance, it is alignment. Faith is the architect that draws up the invisible blueprint from which all wealth is built. It commands the subconscious mind to accept prosperity as a reality long before the bank account reflects it. And when the mind accepts wealth as real, it will begin attracting every circumstance, opportunity, and relationship necessary to bring it forth. Most people sabotage their own success because they believe more in their fears than in their goals. They affirm their limitations louder than they affirm their potential. But the mind, like fertile soil, does not care what you plant. It will grow weeds or riches depending on the seed. Faith is the seed of wealth. It must be planted deliberately and nurtured through repetition, emotion, and vision. To develop this faith, you must take control of the dialogue in your mind. You must speak prosperity even when surrounded by lack. You must affirm your power even when your environment screams limitation. Speak your desire aloud. Declare it with emotion. Imagine it fulfilled every single day, not once, not casually, but obsessively. Every repetition strengthens the mental pathway. Every visualization deepens your conviction. The more vivid the picture, the more real it becomes to the subconscious. And once the subconscious accepts it as truth, it will move heaven and earth to make it real. Faith also requires the courage to act. Belief without action is fantasy, but belief that drives relentless, intelligent, and persistent action becomes a creative force. Even when you cannot see the whole path, take the next step. Trust that the bridge will appear under your feet. Wealth is never fully visible at the start. It unfolds itself to those who walk forward with conviction. Let no one else's doubt become your truth. Let no failure shake your vision. Strengthen your faith daily until it becomes your dominant state of mind. Because once you truly believe not just in your mind, but in your heart, in your bones, in your blood, then wealth must respond. It has no choice. Your belief becomes the mold, and life rushes to fill it. Faith is the switch that turns desire into reality. Without it, wealth remains a dream. With it, wealth becomes inevitable. Once desire is established and faith has taken root, you must now reprogram your mind deliberately and persistently through the power of autosuggestion. This is the act of influencing your subconscious through repeated, intentional thought. It is the mechanism by which your internal world begins to reshape your external world. No man or woman rises above the dominant thoughts they permit to exist in their own mind. And so, if wealth is to become your reality, it must first become your identity. Your subconscious mind is always listening. It does not argue. It does not question. It does not filter what is true or false. It simply accepts what you feed it, especially when emotion is involved. And over time, it molds your habits, your reactions, your decisions, and even your sense of what's possible based on the impressions you give it. Most people live in mental poverty not because they are incapable of success, but because they have unconsciously allowed their minds to be programmed by fear, doubt, and limitation spoken by others, reinforced by media, and repeated within themselves. To reverse this, you must seize control of your internal dialogue. You must become the deliberate architect of the thoughts you allow and the beliefs you install. Begin every day by stating your chief financial goal aloud. Speak it with clarity, with purpose, and most importantly, with feeling. Do not whisper it timidly. Declare it as if it were already fact. I am earning specific amount by specific date, and I do so through your method. Write it down, read it morning and night, and visualize its reality as if your life depended on it, because, in truth, the quality of your life does depend on it. But understand, mere repetition is not enough. These words must be charged with emotion. The subconscious mind does not respond to flat language, it responds to vibration, to intensity, to feeling. When you speak your affirmations, you must do so from a place of deep belief and desire. You must feel the joy, the pride, the confidence of already living in the wealth you are creating. You must see the house, smell the leather of the car, touch the crisp paper of the check. Engage your senses so completely that your subconscious cannot tell the difference between imagination and reality. Because once it accepts the image as real, it goes to work attracting the people, the ideas, and the circumstances to bring it into form. This is not mysticism. This is mental conditioning. Athletes use it. Performers use it. Visionaries throughout history have used it. And now you will use it daily, religiously, until the image of your wealth is etched so deeply in your subconscious that it becomes a reflex. Guard your mind like treasure. Do not allow the opinions of the unsuccessful to infiltrate it. Do not let the voice of doubt drown out the voice of desire. Every time you repeat your vision, you are reshaping your reality. You are rewiring your beliefs. You are building the mental foundation of your wealth. If you do this long enough, something remarkable happens. Your internal dialogue changes, your self-image transforms, and your actions begin to reflect a new level of expectancy. You begin to operate not from fear or lack, but from certainty, the certainty of a person who knows that wealth is not something they chase, but something they summon. Suggestion is the daily ritual of mental power. Use it, feed your mind with riches, and riches will respond. Wealth does not reward the person who knows a little about many things. It flows to the individual who knows a great deal about one thing and knows it better, deeper, and more effectively than anyone else in their environment. General knowledge is scattered, common, and easily replaced, but specialized knowledge is focused power. It is rare, it is valuable. It is what transforms ordinary people into irreplaceable forces in business, in markets, and in life. To train your mind to attract unlimited wealth, you must abandon the illusion that all knowledge is equal. It is not. There is knowledge that entertains, and there is knowledge that enriches. There is information that fills your time, and there is mastery that fills your bank account. Wealth is attracted to those who solve problems, and only those with refined, targeted expertise can solve those problems at a level worth paying handsomely for. You must ask yourself with brutal honesty, what do I know better than most? What am I committed to mastering? What subject, skill, or industry can I dominate? Do not wait for the answer to fall into your lap. Seek it. Explore your interests, your talents, your curiosities, but do so with the end in mind, to become exceptional at something specific. And once you identify it, you must devote yourself to it with uncommon intensity. Study it relentlessly. Read, practice, observe, repeat. Not casually, not occasionally, but obsessively. Make it your mission to outlearn, outwork, and outperform anyone else who shares your path. Because the world does not reward effort alone, it rewards value. And value is a product of depth, not breadth. Formal education may give you a diploma, but it is self-education that gives you wealth. Read the books others overlook. Attend the seminars others ignore. Find mentors, pay for access, immerse yourself in the environments where mastery is expected, not applauded. Seek feedback, welcome discomfort. Every expert was once a beginner. The difference is they persisted in their discipline until their knowledge could no longer be ignored. And remember this, specialized knowledge alone is not enough. It must be organized and directed toward a clear purpose, your chief goal. A man may know everything there is to know about engineering or marketing or finance, but if he does not connect that knowledge to a burning desire and a definite plan of action, he will remain intellectually rich and financially poor. Knowledge must serve intent. It must be paired with vision and action to have power. The market pays for results, not for credentials. Do not seek to be impressive. Seek to be indispensable. When you reach the point where your knowledge solves problems faster, better, and more creatively than others, wealth will come looking for you. You will no longer have to chase opportunity. Opportunity will chase you, because you will have made yourself impossible to overlook. So make your decision, choose your field, dig your well, refine your craft, because in a world drowning in information, the one who possesses specialized knowledge, paired with purpose and relentless execution, holds the keys to unlimited wealth. There will come a point on your journey toward wealth when all the knowledge, belief, and planning in the world will not seem enough. Doors will slam shut. Plans will fall apart. You will feel alone, misunderstood, even foolish. It is here in this lonely place that the true creators of wealth are separated from the crowd. The dividing line is persistence. Persistence is the iron filter through which all success must pass. It is the quiet force that does not shout, does not seek recognition, but refuses to yield. It is not glamorous, not exciting, and often not praised, but it is the one quality that determines whether a person continues forward or fades back into mediocrity. Because no matter how intelligent, talented, or inspired you are, you will be tested. Not once, not occasionally, but repeatedly. Wealth does not reveal itself to the weak-willed, or the easily discouraged. It reveals itself to those who keep going when everything screams at them to stop. Most people quit not because they are incapable, but because they expect ease. They mistake obstacles for signs to turn back, rather than the very gateways that prove their worth. But the persistent mind understands this. Failure is never final unless you accept it. Rejection is not defeat unless you agree with it. Every setback is a signal not to retreat, but to refocus. Every delay is a challenge issued by life asking, "How badly do you want this?" And how you answer determines your future. The persistent person does not beg for success. They outlast the competition. They fall, yes, but they rise faster. They adjust, adapt, and attack again. While others blame conditions, they create conditions. While others complain about luck, they manufacture results through grit, day by day, task by task, refusal by refusal. Persistence is built through decision. You do not wake up one day with unbreakable will you choose it. You decide that you will not stop until the result is in your hand. You declare to yourself that no matter how long it takes, how many times you fail, how little support you receive, you will continue. That kind of decision, once made, becomes your armor. It protects you from discouragement. It fortifies your mind, and eventually it makes you unstoppable. Understand this clearly. Those who persist long enough eventually wear down the resistance of the world. They outlast the problems, outlast the critics, outlast the delays, and eventually they win. Not because they had the most perfect plan, but because they simply refuse to go away. Wealth rewards those who stay in the fight long after others have walked off the field. So when the path becomes hard and it will do not look for escape, look inward, remember your desire, reignite your faith, repeat your vision, call upon your knowledge, and take one more step. That single act, repeated again and again, is what forges greatness. Persistence is the silent builder of empires. It is the invisible hand behind every fortune. If you want to train your mind to attract unlimited wealth, then you must teach it to never stop, because when you persist, life eventually yields. The world steps aside for the one who will not be denied. My friends, unlimited wealth is not a matter of luck. It is a matter of mind. Discipline your thoughts. Direct your focus. Strengthen your belief. The world has no choice but to deliver the riches your mind is prepared to receive. Speak it, see it, seize it. The vaults of abundance are waiting for you to claim the key. Thank you.